Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I show you see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. Yeah, what to talk about? I don't have nearly enough of a backlog for the holiday, which I'm going to be going on next week, but that'll be, that'll be something for myself to sort out, certainly. Let me think. How do I need? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I need 6 of those. 6 of those, 5 videos. That's okay. 5 videos will be okay to do. 6 Animal Crossing videos is going to be the big one. But hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 6:17 PM on Friday, October 17th, 2025. What are we going to talk about today? Gatch talk, just right at the beginning. I've had, wait, no, I already spoke about that one. I keep thinking that I forgot. I talk about this every day, right? So of course, like when I do my polls, those have already happened. But yeah, what else was I going to talk about? Umisme, how's that going? I'm trying to do some of my Rozensky runs. I have a okay one, and I have one which would have been pretty darn good if it just inherited groundwork. This makes no sense if you don't know Umisme. Well, that's wrong one. But it was, it's just like, it's such a high chance. I have literally now with parents and grandparents, I have like a 10 sparks of groundwork or something, which is pretty high, all things considered. While also trying to, and double circle infinity, and it just doesn't inherit sometimes. It's like, oh my gosh. I don't know if there's a support card in the future which is good and also gives groundwork, like as a much higher chance or something. That's going to be fantastic. I know there are actual Umas which do that, but that's not a point. Why don't we actually look it up? Why ask questions which I could get the answer to at this moment? Let's see, hold on. I need to change the server to the Japanese server. I don't know what groundwork is called. This is called groundwork. Let's see. What supports have it through hints? Okay. Are these good supports? I don't actually know, to be honest. The Stay Gold one is probably pretty good, right? Oh my gosh, it has so many skills on hints. It's got 3 golds? Holy. That's crazy. Stay Gold doesn't even have a card yet. Okay, no point. What are we going to talk about? I don't really know otherwise. Let me think. I'm reaching around for conversation. You know what? League of Legends, which is a crazy thing to see. Perhaps even talk about, is the fact that League of Legends has released a winter map, or is releasing the winter map again, which I found absolutely crazy, because it's something that was there when I played back in 2010, if you can believe it, almost 15 years ago. I started playing League of Legends. It ends up being one of the only games that we play sort of as a group, because then it's Hero Event is like one of the more consistent ones. And to be fair, I don't mind it. I don't mind playing with game modes like ARAM and Doombots or whatever. Mind you, the actual game itself, I can take it or leave it. Kind of, I play it for the crowd more than anything else. But anyway, most of the time I miss League playing as not miss as in like I yearn for it, but more like I miss it literally, because I normally only go online and join the server at like 10 or 11 PM, because I'm here recording my videos, after work, all that good stuff, and stuff takes time, but otherwise, what else to talk about? I'm not really sure, to be honest. But it just sort of surprised me, because it's something which was there for like when I first started playing, for maybe like up to like 2012 or something, and then it's like been gone for ages. People wanted it, clamoring for it back, and then suddenly here we are 15 years later. It's really weird, because League of Legends is both, it somehow feels like on both an uptick and a downtick in some ways. Like uptick where it feels like we're sort of doing community feedback things, but also on the downtick with they've got like that £200 like chroma you can get for a legendary skin, or the really, really expensive Ari, and I forgot even who is the other one, Hall of Fame skins, which cost like £500 or something insane. But yeah, it's fascinating to see. At the same time, Pick'ems and the League of Legends, not Pick'ems, the League of Legends World Championship is going on. Pick'ems is the important part, and I know that the qualifiers have been happening. I don't remember who I predicted for my things. Like, what are the current standings? How are people doing? I know there's been a lot of like crazy, like upset sort of style things. Where some people have just been doing like exceedingly well, and some people have been like, what? or something. I don't even know what this is, to be honest. So this is a team which made it in. I don't even know what team this is, apparently. I did not put them as my, as my thing, I think. Is that quarterfinals? What was it? I don't understand what I'm looking at. Swiss advancement round. Is this it? Have I put both these people going in? No, I've only put one of them going in. Oh, it's not the team I put in, though. What's all going on? I don't know. Anyway. As long as it's cool, that's all good stuff. And then, you know, we'll be gathering as a friend group to watch the World Finals together, probably. Which will always be a fun time. Because we tend to do... It's one of the big meetups that we have, like, as a big group each year, I think, which is always a good time. Anyway, not the point. What to talk about? The Music League is going on, which is organised by a friend, and they sent out, like, invites to multiple Discords, including my Discord, where I know, at least, I'm in it, obviously. I know Viewer MSMX is in it. I don't know if anyone else from my community is in it, to be honest. I haven't actually checked who the list of people are. Also, I don't know if I know the list of people all that well, but yeah, the first round results came out, and you know, I mean, I don't really care too much about results. I kind of care more about listening to the songs. So the second round's also out now, where the theme was autumn, and it's pretty cool. You know, I listened to all the songs today, and yeah, I voted. I guess I won't say what I voted for yet, but like one of the songs I did, okay, but there's 3 times on this playlist where I listen to a song and be like, oh, that's a really good choice for a song, to be honest. Because one of them is an artist I absolutely like love their songs. I vibe out with their songs, and really I should listen to their music more, to be honest. But when it was out, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I can kind of see it. But then there's another 2 from the same sort of place where I listened to it and I was like, yeah, okay, like I can't, like this is definitive, like to me, like very strong autumn theme in my mind. I submitted a song mainly because I was like, I couldn't even believe the song was even on Spotify in the first place. It was the first song I thought of, because it's one of my favourite, I suppose, songs from this franchise. I don't submit them because I think people are going to like them necessarily. I submit them because they're my niche knowledge, right? Like what? Like I don't know what I'd submit otherwise. Be like, oh, here's this very otherwise very mainstream song which everyone knows. I'm like, okay, well that's just boring, isn't it? My goal is not to win. My goal is to not inflict. That's a weird way to put it. My goal is to share my very very niche knowledge of very specific music genre, specifically J-pop idol music and K-pop, into this sort of thing, with doing my best to try and sort of fit the theming as well as I can. My song last time I think did completely neutrally. I'm surprised anyone voted on it for all, because I thought it was a rather inoffensive song, but I also didn't think it was like that great a song. Like I like it as a song, but I'm like, this is very specific to my taste. This one's even more specific to my taste, and predictably it's not doing particularly well, which I'm like, that's totally fine. Like I didn't expect it to do particularly well. I do find it funny though. But yeah, I submitted my votes. One of them, let's see, well, there's one song I double upvoted. Yeah, this one, it's doing pretty well. But downvotes are very interesting, because I'm always very curious, like, what people upvote is interesting, don't get me wrong, but what people downvote is always even more interesting, I think. I've been trying to do songs which, like, I'm trying to do the inverse of basically what I upvote a song for. Like, the ones I upvote are songs which, by default, they have to fit the thematic, and then also, you know, I'm kind of like vibing out with, in line with a thematic to them, is my mind. It was a bit difficult with first time, because the first time was like Wind and Fire and Water, which is basically Song of the Elements. I'm like, that covers such a broad thematic that it's quite difficult to be like, oh yeah, this doesn't vibe out with the elements. The one I downvoted, I think it was just more like, I really did not vibe with that song, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't click with it. It did fit the thematic, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie and say it didn't, but yeah, I don't know, I couldn't get down with it. But yeah, it's always interesting to see what people downvote and why they downvote. because I had this discussion with my friend who was doing it, and they were like pretty worried about people were just downvoting because they didn't vibe out or they didn't like the song, rather than judging it from like a thematic standpoint. Like, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. I totally agree with that. But at the same time, this is kind of like a very subjective music thing in the first place. I don't know how established the rules are. You know, when you're given the choice to upvote and downvote, people are going to do it based on their biased opinion. It's going to be pretty difficult to overwrite that. I'm not saying that my friend didn't understand that conceptually, but you know, I think it's a difference in what could be represented in this thing. Because the ultimate point is to be able to like, oh yeah, like here's a load of different like sort of genres, musics people can share and listen and find out to. I will say my songs are definitely going to stay. Like I was like, I thought of a song for the third one. I was having a really difficult time thinking of a song in questions, because I think it's pretty difficult to think in a different language and be like, what song? So I had another song which I was going to submit, which would be a pretty reasonable option, because it's like a fun song. I think it's very neutral. But then I thought of another song yesterday and I was like, oh, no one's going to like that song. That's so specifically mine. But yeah, most of the songs I submit is mainly because I like what is being told within the story of the lyrics more so than the actual song. That's not always true, because I think the songs I do like, I also do like the song, but I tend to skew very heavily to melancholic ballads, sad sounding songs. And listening to a lot of the songs in here, like I think that's a pretty nice sort of genre range. I would say there's a lot of acoustic guitar in this version, mainly because it's autumnal songs, I guess. But yeah. But the song I downvoted, my personally, I was just like, this one doesn't fit. Like, I understand it's like a joke submission in a way, and it's like they did it with like tongue in cheek, but I'm like, I've got to stick to my own sort of criteria. Where I'm like, I don't think this fits the thematic enough for me to pass it. Yeah, because I think the other one was like basically most of the songs did end up fitting with thematic. Maybe this one actually didn't fit as well as I thought it did. So yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, Elements is a pretty wide theme, so as long as it has like a vague allusion to the element, in my mind it works. But this one I was just like, come on. I'm interested to see though. My fourth song I actually genuinely quite like, and I actually feel might be a bit more broadly appealing, I think, than these other songs, to be honest. But it's cool. It's cool to see the Music League, you know. Have any of these songs made it into my playlist? No, not really. Like, the ones which would have already been in there, but I tend to do it, you know, based off... I mean, as I say, it tends to be based off the context of a song itself. And listening to 15 songs without context, while I do like them, I don't know, they're not things which make it to my shortlist because they don't have a context of why I like them in the first place, you know? Now, if it appeared in a game, a TV show I liked or something, or a media I consumed, then it'd be like, oh yeah, now I can start jamming with it. Or like during a memory I have. I mean, I guess this is a memory, I suppose, by doing this in first place, but I don't know which song will be indicative of this memory. Because I can't have 30 songs associated with this one memory of doing the Music League. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so at the moment, I'm very torn of what to submit for third round, because I could do what I think is a more generally appealing song, and it is still pretty, you know, distinctly unique, I think, compared to the other songs on here, but it's actually, like, you know, pretty nice, I think. Not that the other song isn't nice, but the other song is so, like, niche. It's just like, there's no way anyone is good. Like, this is going to be the downvote song. Although, credit where credit's due, I think it's only got 2 downvotes, so it's not even, like, that big a deal. I don't mean to make it seem like that big a deal. Because I think, again, people are downvoting on different criteria. Some people are downvoting songs which are like, this is an obvious choice. There's no way I can upvote this or something. Some people are downvoting being like, I don't like this song. I don't like how it sounds. And some other people are downvoting because they think, like, this song doesn't even fit into the category. And everyone else falls somewhere in between. And that's totally okay. That's just how it should be. To be honest, you have your own criteria. Because, well, as far as I know, I don't think there's a set criteria. I don't know if there's rules of how this Music League thing's technically meant to work. It's just kind of like, you kind of upvote and downvote regardless anyway. And at the end of the day, when you have, like, how many people do we have in here? It's going to be pretty hard to make it enforced that everyone votes in exactly the same style and way, right? C'est impossible. So whatever happens ends up happening, to be honest. Yeah, maybe I should actually look at these lists. Do I think any of these people on here are people I know? Like, sorry, from like Dear Darling Discord? Maybe. Maybe. I don't think so. Like, I obviously I know MSMX, but I don't know anyone else, I think. Wow. Let me see. I've got no clue, to be honest. It's interesting though. Because I think, you know, if I am to make music at some point, I gotta have like a, I don't necessarily need to make like a wide variety of genres, but I think there's always something to be learned from different genres, right? You know, I don't listen to much. I'm trying to think, what's a genre I really don't listen to like at all? Like even if I opt into it or something, I wouldn't. I don't know, heavy metal probably? That's always like the go-to. You always gotta like push to extremes. Actually, I think emo is probably one like I don't even listen to. Heavy metal at least would be like out of curiosity or something, but emo music, it doesn't super jive with me, I think, too much. But anyway, like I always think there's interesting things to learn because you, in my classic Dear Darling way, in engaging with things on a more analytical perspective for some reason. Not everything, mind you. But things like that, you know, you can engage with it from an analytical perspective and be like, oh, you know, it's interesting. This like genre uses, I don't know, this chord progression appears quite a lot and it gives off this sort of feeling. Or like this instrument, or like the way of using this instrument in a more unusual way or pattern or rhythm or something can always give you a different exposure and inspiration for different things. The same way, like even that, you know, I think the classic thing is when you're like a teenager, oh, you always want to make your arts of like the fan arts or whatever, or very commonly like anime art or something and upload it. But, you know, you got to learn, you know, like basic human anatomy, like real life figure drawing to be good at that sort of stuff as well, because skills are transferable across these, you know, different genres within the same domain. Allow many things to be transferred across. You know, you can end up mixing genres, you can end up doing some very cool things, and you only get to do that by exposure in the first place. Same with like literature and reading. You become a good author by reading not just like the genre that you want to. Yes, you should read a lot of a genre that you want to create, but you should read outside of your genre as well and see what other things that you can pick up and learn from. Doesn't mean you have to employ everything as is, but the mark of, I suppose, being able to learn as a skill is being able to take lessons from more than just the scope of the final product in your head, you know? There's other things which has use and impact. And at the end of the day, you might just find something that you genuinely quite like. So that's always a fun thing about these sort of like interchanging thematics, themes, and genres, and taking lessons from one to another. I mean, I guess it's a very analytical way to think about it because that's what they always say with maths. You know, you learn by learning one field of maths is like opened up so many other fields as well because it's now super applicable. Something you see in one field really does help you in another. Now, there's some things which they probably don't cross all that much. Like I'm sure, like maybe like hyperpop and like super melancholic bluegrass ballads or something. I don't even know if you can do bluegrass ballads. I don't see why not, I guess, but probably don't have much in the way of intersection over both the genre, emotion, and moods are trying to convey. So probably the thematic choices in either probably don't lend well to the other. But that doesn't mean it's entirely fruitless either, you know? In the same way maths, it's like things, let's say, or like stochastic financial modelling theory doesn't really have much overlap with, I don't know, algebraic geometry or something. Actually, that probably might do in a very obscure way, maybe like complex geometry or something. That probably does have, I don't know. There's probably ways I don't know. I don't remember those quite well enough, well, some of those quite well enough to really say, but there are fields of maths which have more overlap and which don't. But all in all, they can, you know, help your understanding in one way or another. So yeah, that's basically long and short of it. I think it's pretty fun. Even like, I don't know, I'm not here to like trying to be like, I'm trying to justify my head me doing this or something, because it's already been justified by its pure existence of being like, oh cool, look, everyone gets to share sort of music from their own sort of little genres that they know about. And I don't know, I found it very exciting when I first opened my first playlist and was like, whoa, I don't know any of these songs, or I knew very little of these songs. Second time round, I think I knew significantly more of these songs. I'm trying to, because like the first one, I knew like one song, apart from my own song, which was like the Lindsay Lohan song. No, 2 songs. Because the Firestorm was on there as well, wasn't it? Oh, and Colours of a Wind. Okay, so I knew 3 songs. I think apart from my song. This one I think I knew more, right? Because there was 2 Nightmare Wood songs I know. Florence and Machine song I know. I knew the Taylor Swift song. And my own song. No, not as many as I know, but there were fewer songs on this one as well. It's exciting, you know. Cross genre learning. That's what it's all about. Anyway, it's been 20 minutes, so we'll round this episode off here. So, yeah, I've been watching. Thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, description, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.